Texans. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Wait 10, wait 20.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Oh, here we go. Oh, out. Check. Kill. Topper. Hey.
Brady gives to Michel, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Caught here by Bell. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance, if they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing. It puts them in that position.
The veteran Jason McCourty up to make the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson eluding the pressure right. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. They'll run on first down with Cannon. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. A quick throw out wide to Fuller.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Faking the give. Now Watson. Going deep here for Stills. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To the air yet again, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in the playoffs. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Give them 17 on the pickup there. The Texans also get a new set of downs. They'll run. This is Cannon. And they'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw, it's Brady. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free.
64,
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. That's out to his running back, Michelle. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michelle. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Michelle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Wait, set. Wait, Eddie.
Let's go, D. Check, idiot. Check, idiot. But.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. He finds Dorsett, it's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Check 52.
Here's Brady. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Check. Alert flag.
Michelle going to try again. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. An 8-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Let's go, boys.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
19! Open the court!
56. I'm coming. 56 to Mike. Check 56.
From the gun on third, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Let's go. Do it.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. On 1st down, Cannon. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Throwing on 2nd and 8, Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Here's Watson. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be back.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Trenton Cannon with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Texans have taken the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Hey, 66.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. He'll field this at the 5. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time,
it's caught inside the 25. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Watson off play action. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. A shotgun snap for Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. The final shot before the break. Watson. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, we got to snap it. We got to snap it.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think? And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it. Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. Now, I guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the midfield stripe, the holder's thinking.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. There he goes, right side. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On play action, it's Brady. That's complete. It's Bell. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Watch the pass. Hey, Haywood.
I can't believe they let you play.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 11 now, Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. Score a pick six for the Texans TD. So that is 2 pick sixes he's thrown in this football game. Now, you take those away, Charles, it's a completely different situation.
It totally is, but guess what? They have to deal with what they have now, okay? So they can't just mentally go, well, if we hadn't thrown those pick sixes, we'd be okay. Here's where you are. Here's where you're going to battle. But guess what? They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's Brady. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a lift.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Brady, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Bud Dupree. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Hey, check it.
Check 50. Check 50.
To throw is Brady. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cannon. 20! Touchdown, Houston! Trenton Cannon saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. Well, what's the call here? Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Brady. Caught here by Bell. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 38-yard line. So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 38. Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run with Cannon, and he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Dante Hightower on the stop. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson. That complete to Lamar Miller. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Patriots take over.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they... Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
That's caught by his tight end, Matt Lacoste. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Hey, 66. All right, here we go. Shadow.
Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Texans defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Let's get it.
At the 47-yard line.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Cannon. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Their coaching staff, they were pretty adamant beginning of the year. Our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Well, they made it to the playoffs. That's part one, but they fall a little bit short.
And to me, once again,